Behind closed doors, Labour MPs are asking a question they swore they'd never ask. Is Keir Starmer about to lose control of his own party? Welcome to Power and Policy UK, the channel where we cut through the spin, expose what's really happening in British politics, and break down the power moves shaping the country. This is not a drill. Something is seriously going wrong inside the Labour Party, and the cracks are no longer subtle. What we're watching right now looks less like a normal political wobble and more like the early stages of a full-blown internal meltdown. Keir Starmer's leadership, once sold as safe, serious, and inevitable, is suddenly looking fragile, and people inside Labour know it. Behind closed doors, panic is setting in. MPs are nervous, activists are furious, voters are confused. And the worst part for Starmer is that this isn't coming from just one corner of the party. This is pressure from everywhere all at once. When a leader starts losing support quietly, that's dangerous. When they start losing it loudly, that's catastrophic. Starmer promised discipline and unity. What he's delivered instead is a party that doesn't know what it stands for. Longtime Labour supporters feel betrayed, saying the leadership has hollowed out core principles in the chase for respectability. Meanwhile, swing voters aren't buying the act either. They don't see vision. They don't see courage. They see a politician permanently stuck in neutral, terrified of saying the wrong thing. And here's the brutal truth. Politics rewards confidence, not caution. Starmer's entire strategy has been built around not upsetting anyone, and that strategy is now collapsing in real time. Every vague policy position, every walkback, every carefully worded non-answer chips away at his authority. At some point, people stop asking, "What's the plan?" and start asking, "Who's actually in charge here?" The internal mood is reportedly toxic. MPs in marginal seats are whispering that the leadership is becoming a liability. Party members are openly questioning why they should campaign for policies that barely exist. Trade unions, once reliable allies, are sending increasingly blunt signals of dissatisfaction. This isn't background noise anymore. This is the sound of a coalition falling apart. What makes this moment explosive is timing. Labour should be projecting confidence, momentum, inevitability. Instead, it feels defensive, reactive, and oddly insecure. Starmer was supposed to be the antidote to chaos, but now critics are saying he's created a different kind of instability, one rooted in fear, ambiguity, and total risk aversion. Even Starmer's strongest selling point, competence, is under strain. Voters can forgive ideology they disagree with. What they don't forgive is indecision. When a leader constantly recalibrates, clarifies, or retreats, it sends one message: weakness. And once that perception takes hold, it spreads fast. Inside Westminster, the mood has shifted dramatically. The question is no longer, can Starmer win? It's becoming, what happens if he doesn't? That's when leaderships start to unravel. Doubt creeps in. Loyalty becomes conditional. Silence becomes tactical. Nobody wants to be the last person backing a leader who might be on borrowed time. And let's be clear, leadership challenges don't start with dramatic coups. They start with quiet conversations, raised eyebrows, and MPs keeping their options open. Right now, Starmer looks less like a leader commanding authority and more like someone trying to hold the center while everything around him pulls apart. The comparison problem is killing him too. To some, he's abandoned Labour's soul. To others, he's failed to modernize it properly. Being attacked from both sides isn't a sign of balance. It's a sign your message isn't landing anywhere. When nobody feels represented, everyone feels alienated. Supporters will say this is all exaggerated, that discipline will prevail, that elections are won in the center. But discipline without inspiration doesn't mobilize voters. Control without conviction doesn't build trust. And a party that looks afraid of its own shadow doesn't look ready to govern a country in crisis. The most dangerous thing for Starmer is that the illusion of inevitability is gone. Once that disappears, everything changes. MPs start calculating, donors hesitate, media tone shifts, and suddenly every misstep becomes evidence of a deeper problem rather than an isolated mistake. So yes, Keir Starmer really is hanging by a thread right now. Whether that thread snaps depends on what happens next, but make no mistake, Labour is entering a critical phase. This could be the moment they regroup and redefine themselves, or the moment the leadership loses control entirely. Politics is brutal, fast, and unforgiving. And right now, the Labour Party looks like a party at war with itself, led by a man running out of time, patience, and credibility. This is Power and Policy UK. If you want clear analysis, no nonsense, and the stories Westminster won't explain, subscribe now and stay ahead of the narrative.